Hello, lovely people. It's exciting to welcome you again to our YouTube channel. How are you doing? I hope you're very well and all is well. Of course, I believe that will always be our continuous or ceaseless testimony. It is well, it will always be well. No matter what we see, no matter what we face, no matter what we go through, no matter the situations, no matter the circumstances, for us, it will always be well because we have God, and with God, all things are possible. All right, so this is welcoming you to another exciting road trip from Ajah in Lagos State, Nigeria, to Muwe in Ogun State, or rather the Redemption Camp, or now known as the Redemption City in Ogun State. I know very well that for most of us, it's easy to think, just as I used to think, that the Redemption City is in Lagos. But the reality is, it is not in Lagos, it is in Ogun State. So the distance between Ajah and Ogun State, Muwe precisely, that's the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, the distance between Ajah and the Redeemed City itself is 75 kilometers. And 75 kilometers, meaning that's 2 hours drive, basically 8 minutes. Why is it 2 hours? Normally 75 should be 1 hour and thereabout, 1 hour plus, but of course we all know it's a very busy route. Lagos Ibadan Expressway, for those who know the route, know that there is always traffic. In fact, I think the name Lagos is also synonymous with traffic. At any time of the day, there is always traffic in Lagos. But the difference is that there are sometimes that the traffic is less and sometimes the traffic is higher. Okay, but we move, because over time, if you live in Lagos, you actually get used to your environment, so you know how to plan your time. For instance, if you're staying in Ajah or Ikota, like I stay, to get to the airport you have to set out at least 4 hours before your departure time. So no matter the traffic situation, you can be very sure that you'll meet up with your flight time. I remember sometime, I think last year, I wanted to go to Kenya from Lagos. You won't believe I missed my flight. Why? Because I got stuck in Ikeja. I was in Ikeja until my check-in time, my boarding time, and the flight departed. I was still stuck in Ikeja. It was a terrible situation. By the time I got to the airport, unfortunately for me, there were no more flights for Nairobi for that day. In fact, the flight to Nairobi again was to be in 2 days' time. And by all means, I needed to be in Nairobi by the next day, of course, to resume my job, my work. So you won't believe I had to fly to Abuja that night and now reroute my ticket to show Abuja Nairobi. It was such a frustrating experience that I can never forget, but I actually learned my lesson. Of course, as at then I was not living in Lagos, so I didn't really understand that I could have there could be such a traffic situation. But after that, I've learned my lessons. If you step out on time, you will never miss your flight. But if you delay, you will most likely miss your flight. All right, so let's go back to our road trip. So like I said, there's a route. If you avoid the traffic, you can get there in 1 hour 30 minutes. But on with Normal traffic is basically about 2 hours 8 minutes. 75.1 kilometers is the distance. Please enjoy your views. All right, for the purpose of the trip, we're going to talk briefly about Ajah and, of course, briefly about Ogun State. All right, so Ajah is a town in Eti Osa local government area in Lagos State, Nigeria. It is located on the Lekki Peninsula, approximately 22 kilometers southeast of Lagos. Ajah was founded by the Ojukwu, Ogushemu, and Odugbeze Aberejo families, who accommodated other families in the 16th century. The Trios were the first settlers, and their major occupation was fishing. Amongst themselves, they appointed the Bale, who would see over the affairs of the community while they were away fishing in the river. The Bale was from Ogusemu. Ajah land is divided among 42 chiefs and 10 kingmakers. The 11th Bale of Ajah, Chief Alani, was installed on the 1st of October 2029. So basically, Ajah is occupied by Ajah and Ileje people who migrated to Ajah after being displaced from Morocco and Mobar. The Ajah and Alaje people have long been embroidered in intercommunal conflicts, which I believe with time will be sorted out anyways. But Ajah is also surrounded by a border of water which links the Lagos Lagoon to the Atlantic Ocean. Please enjoy your views. All right, so this is the Monarch Event Center, Lagos. Renting the entire Monarch Event Center generally ranges from 14 to 20 million naira. The deluxe hall costs 2.3 million naira. The rooftop space is approximately 1.5 million naira. These prices include access to the venue's top-notch facilities, including inbuilt sound system and ample park. The Monarch Event Center Lagos is owned by the ever-stylish wife of popular Lagos monarch, Oba Elegushi, Queen Sakinat, and the event center sits gracefully along the Lekki Epe Expressway, just overlooking the Legushi's palace. Please enjoy your views. right, so Ajah, someone asked what's the difference between Lekki and Ajah. Ajah offers a quieter and more relaxed lifestyle compared to Lekki. Its suburban setting is perfect for families seeking for a peaceful environment. However, Ajah is still developing, so it may lack some high-end amenities that are found in Lekki. It's less congested, it has a family-friendly atmosphere. Like most of Lagos Island, okay, in Nigeria, if you must know, when we talk about Lagos State, there are two parts of Lagos State. There is the Lagos mainland, which has to do with Ikeja and the rest, and there is the Lagos Island, which is basically Lekki, Victoria Island, and its environment. Okay, so Ajah is under the Lagos Island. So just like Victoria Island, Ikoyi and Lekki, Ajah enjoys the natural beauty of being surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. However, it's different because what sets it apart majorly is that it's relatively affordable, making it a great option for those who want to live in the island, yet, you know, without the high cost. Please enjoy your views. In terms of location, Ajah is well connected to the major parts of the island, as I said. It's 30 to 40 minutes drive from the Victoria Island and, of course, close to Lekki, offering easy access to key business hubs and recreational spots. So it's not totally out of, located at the ends of Lagos. No, it's basically within and around. So to the west of Ajah, you have the Victoria Garden City, which is also known as VGC. And of course, to the east, you have the historic town of Ipe. So popular places in Ajah, Lagos include Ado Road, Langbasa, Badore. It has a lot of beautiful places, even while it is still developing. All right, please enjoy your views. When we return, we'll talk about some other place. This is a beautiful view of Lekki. Lekki, also an integral part of the Lagos mainland. Please enjoy your views. All right, so that's Black Diamond Hotel. Such a beautiful place. So just ahead of us is a beautiful place in Victoria Island called 1004 Housing Estate. 1004 Housing Estate is an 11-hectare housing estate in Victoria Island, Lagos. Originally, it was named Federal Housing Estate Lagos and designed by Isaac Fuller Alade. It was constructed in 1970s as the biggest of its type at that time. The estate has four clusters of residential multi-story condominiums, six high-rise buildings, and four low-rise buildings, comprising over 1,000 apartments. It was built as a luxury residence for families of senators and members of the House of Representatives. The estate was opened in 1979. But after the federal capital was moved to Abuja, it's subsequently being occupied by senior federal civil servants. It's also their board of expatriates. In something around 2004, the estate was sold out to a property development company, but it stands as a historical mark, one of the most popular places in the Lagos Island. Okay, located opposite the 1004 estates, Victoria Island, is the Civic Center Towers. The Civic Center Towers is a 17-floor office building in Lagos. It was opened in 2015 and is owned by business tycoon Jim Over. The Civic Center Towers in Lagos has 3 banqueting rooms, grand banquet hall, panoramic view hall, floating restaurant, and 2 meeting rooms, which offers breathtaking hospitality. Is a grand event center in Victoria Island, located on Ozumba Madikwe Road, so it's easily accessible from both the mainland and the island. Please enjoy your views. Alright, so from the Civic Center Towers, we head on to Lekki Link Bridge. It's a link bridge, that connects people from one part of the island, of course, Lagos Island, to another part of the island. It connects from Lekki, basically, VI to Ikoyi, another part of the island, which of course leads to the third mainland bridge, which is the major connecting point between the mainland and the island. Please enjoy your views. All right, so this is welcoming us to the third mainland bridge. The third mainland bridge, as I told you, is a major connecting link between Lagos mainland and Lagos Island. Third mainland bridge is the longest of three bridges that connects the island to the mainland. The other bridges, there's a Kata bridge, there is a Ko bridge. As at 1996, it was the longest bridge in Africa, of course, until when the 6th October bridge located in Cairo was completed. So the bridge starts from Owokorin Shoki, forgive me, which is linked to the Lagos Ibadan Expressway and Oshodi Apapa Express, and ends at Adeniji Adele interchange on Lagos Island. There is also a link midway through the bridge that leads to Herbert Macaulay Way in Yaba. The bridge was built by Julius Berger Nigeria plc. The first one of the projects was commissioned by President Segun Shagari in 1980 and completed by President Babangida in 1990. That, that means it took 10 solid years to complete it. The measure of the bridge in length is 11.8 kilometers. Such a beautiful scenario, such a beautiful place. The third mainland bridge has come to become, a major tourist attraction in Lagos, offering different views of Lagos. It shows the Lagos Lagoon, the University of Lagos waterfront, and Makoko, a shanty town. belt on the Lagos Lagoon. Due to the pressure, the bridge goes through renovation from time to time. On the 4th of January 2024, the Lagos government announced dates to close the third mainland bridge for complete repairs. Each phase lasted for 6 weeks. So on the 4th of April 2024 again, the federal government reopened the third mainland bridge. It is always a, there's always what we call vehicular traffic. Sometimes you can be there for hours, sometimes just minutes you can just pass through, but it is essentially the major link, of course, between the island and the mainland. Such a beautiful place. Please enjoy your views. Alright, so this is welcoming us to the Lagos Ibadan Expressway. The Lagos Ibadan Expressway is a 127.6 kilometer long expressway connecting Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State, and Lagos, Nigeria's largest city. So it's 127.6 kilometers, but 79.3 miles. It is also the major route to the northern, southern, and eastern parts of Nigeria. The expressway is the oldest in Nigeria. It was commissioned in 1978 during the military era under the administration of Lieutenant General Olusegun Obasanjo. The expressway is one of the busiest interstate routes in Nigeria and handles more than 250,000 PCUs daily and constitutes one of the largest road networks in Africa. It's truly, for me, I think that, like we learned, is the busiest route in Nigeria. I was really surprised that for the first time, because I know I've stayed on this road, in the traffic on this road for more than 3 hours at a time. I was surprised that for the first time there was no traffic. I don't know what happened, but it's a welcome development that you can go through Lagos Ibadan Expressway and you didn't have to, get stuck in the car, be looking for what to buy, to drink, to buy, to eat, and all of that. And of course, be prone to all sorts. I really celebrate whatever was done. Maybe it's the construction, because the roads actually look very wonderful. I'm told that they've done a lot of constructions on the road. I celebrate the government. I celebrate whosoever is responsible for this, because the roads are really good. It's like almost 4 lanes now that you get on the Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Please enjoy your views. So already, as you know, we are in Ogun State. We have departed from Lagos, and this is me welcoming you to Ogun State. Please enjoy your views. Ogun State is a state in southwestern Nigeria. As a Nigerian state, Ogun State is the second most industrialized state after Lagos. That means, of course, Lagos is the major center of industrialization in Nigeria. But Ogun State has a focus on metal processing. It has good roads and rail connections to the harbors in Lagos and Lekki. The current governor of Ogun State is Dapo Abiodun, APC. So Abeokuta is both Ogun State capital and the most populous city and the capital of Egbe Kingdom. Most important cities in Ogun State also include Ijebu-Ode, the capital of Ijebu Kingdom, and Shagamu, the capital of Romo Kingdom, and the Nigerian's leading kola nut grower. Ilaro, the city of Yewa South local government rather, that's Yewa Kingdom. Ogun State is covered predominantly by rainforest and has a wooded savanna in the northwest. It's such a beautiful place. It's predominantly Yoruba, of course, just like Lagos, predominantly Yoruba, and the Yoruba language serves as the lingua franca of the state. Ogun State is also noted for being the most exclusive site of ofada rice production. It is also home to many icons in Nigeria, in particular, and Africa in general, like Wole Soyinka lives in Abeokuta in Ogun State. All right, so after traveling for about 70 to 75 kilometers from Ajah, gradually we got to the Redeem camp. The Redeemed Christian Church of God Redemption Camp, you know, is now called Redemption City, is the campground and international headquarters of the Redeemed Christian Church of God (RCCG), a Pentecostal evangelical mega church in Muwe, Ogun State of Nigeria. The facility opened in 1983 and has since expanded to 2,500 hectares. The Redemption City has over 5,000 houses, roads, police station. I was surprised, while we were driving past the place, I saw that they have a prison facility. Not just a police station, but a prison facility. I was like, wow, that's a welcome development. So there are hospitals, there are supermarkets, there are banks. I can remember when I got into the camp, I needed to go. There is Zenith Bank, there is there's First Bank, there is Eco Bank, there is GTB. So many bank, and banking facilities. there's a fun fair facility, there's a post office, there are schools, there's printing press, there's a Redeemed Bible College, there's a power plant. So much. As at 2018, there were about 12,000 persons living within the Redemption City. As at March 2023, it is now estimated that the Redemption City has about 200,000 inhabitants. Please enjoy your views. All right, so all the while, it has been known as Redeem Camp or Redemption Camp. But on the 9th of August 2022, the General Overseer of the Church, Pastor E.A. Adeboye, renamed the Redemption Camp as Redemption City. So it's no longer called Redemption Camp, it is now known as the Redemption City. It's such a wonderful place to be. So the Redeemed Christian Church of God's Redemption City is, is the largest, should I say, it has the largest church auditorium in Nigeria. It has a seating capacity of over 12 million persons. Over time, founded by Pa Josiah Akindeyomi in 1952, over time RCCG has grown to become the largest church in Nigeria. So that's the old arena. The view in front of you is the old arena. It's such a beautiful place, and I like the ambience, the spiritual ambience in the camp that has been sustained over the years. Please enjoy your views. All right, I want to specially appreciate our old and new subscribers. Thank you for your likes, thank you for your shares, thank you for commenting, and most importantly, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for loving what we do. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for staying connected, and even as we grow together. I love you all. This is signing out even as we come to the end of this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love to say in conclusion, God bless you. See you in our next video. Bye for now.